Hi there everyone at Flinders Christian Community College in Carrum Downs. This is just a quick follow-up video from our get-together last Tuesday, and the first thing I want to do is just say thanks. I really appreciate the wholehearted way that you participated on the day and the way you got right into it and really gave it your all. And I guess from my very first slide of the day, that advice around following one rabbit was really something that I felt came from the room. So thank you very much. This video is just a reminder, I guess, so that you get a little bit of a refresher about what we were trying to achieve that day. The crux of it, I guess, we talked about the first slide that we referred to is probably in the last slide, where we talked about how we were pulling together the elements that we had focus on during the day for the purpose of looking at that explicit practice. And those elements consist of the restorative framework. So the best advice that I can give you around that is to make sure that, if you're thinking about the restorative framework, is to think about those operating domains and making sure that you're concentrating on whether you're being a to teacher, a not teacher, a for teacher, or a with teacher. And if you can actually reflect on those times that you may have slipped out of the box and what your default mechanisms are and where you tend to go, and then remembering also that there will be times that you'll have to, the students will take you out of that box. But no matter what the reason is that you drift out of the with box, just remembering that you can use that framework as a way of mapping back. The second thing I want you to think about is what those elements are of a fair process, remembering that students will be far more inclined to go along with the way that you work if the processes are fair rather than if the outcomes are fair. So remembering those 3 E's, and I won't even throw them in now, I'll just see if you can test yourselves in a conversation here on how well those 3 E's are working out for you. The next thing is those restorative questions. So remember, throw those in your lanyard for your yard duty or for when you're in class. But remember always that they do a fantastic job of taking you from past to present to future. So that's your biggest guide, okay? So you can use any questioning techniques that you like and any counselling skills that you may have to make sure that you're progressing every conversation forward that way. And then the next part of the partnership is where we're going to fill some gaps around the theory and research of restorative practices. We're going to look into how formal conferencing can work in your school and in your grade and make sure that you're skilled up in that area. But we've deliberately started at the informal end for the very purpose of making sure that we're culture building and we're culture transforming, because that's where culture change really genuinely starts to happen. And that's why in the afternoon we unpacked not so much the theories around and the practices around restorative practices, but we looked at what are the tips and tricks such as Joe Lang's t-shirts that you can use to be able to practice consistently under something that we could describe as a restorative umbrella. So remembering also that from here there's some further components of our partnership over the next 2 years. First of all, we'll have that in-class day. So I'll be communicating with Sally and with your leaders at the school to build up that timetable, remembering the 3 modes in which I can come and work with you around whatever the theme is that you're looking to establish and to get some assistance with. I can model for you, I can co-teach with you, and I can provide feedback for you. So you need to work out which one of those you think you'll get the greatest benefit from. We're going to run a parent information session on that night also, so that we can start to get your community on board. We're going to provide some mentoring and some coaching for your teachers and for your leaders and for any staff that will be brought together around some targeted needs, because you'll hit some barriers along the way, and that's okay, and that's what our partnership's built around. And then also you've got the components of the Real Schools membership, of which your school is a part now. So every month we'll send you some articles around teacher practice, we'll send you some articles around cultural leadership and some videos about conversations that you might like to have that allow you to keep that idea of great teacher practice on the agenda. But look, to be honest, the gift is in the dialogue. And the whole day, really, for me, the most exciting stuff is the videos that you can see on the screen now of all of you talking about practice. And that's where the really great stuff happens. So keep looking for ways to provide yourself impetus for the way that you're going to have conversation around the way that you work with young people. It's the one thing you can do to demonstrate your commitment to fantastic teacher quality. So hugely important that we keep those conversations going, that we keep making sure that when things get busy and when things get difficult, that it's those conversations about practice that don't fall off the agenda. And look, the last part of this video, is just a quick thank you and a note, I guess, to tell you how excited I am. It's a shame we didn't get the video to work to do our exit interviews, but I really am excited about the energy that was in that room for enhancing and transforming teacher practice in your school. And I know that over time we'll build a culture of rich, meaningful, high-level learners in your community that are going to really go places, and you're going to see the changes, and most importantly you're going to feel it in your own effectiveness and in your own stress levels. I'm really excited to be working with you. Good luck, and I'll be in touch again to talk to you really, really soon. Bye for now.